This is CAD Methods 5.2, Part 1, Project 14-1, and it's on page 606 in the book. So I'm going to take the book and kind of slide it over here so you can see a little bit more. And I'm going to modify these directions here a little bit because you may or may not be able to find the files. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to start off, follow the directions. You did this lab. 13-1, and it's this floor plan where we added dimensions and we built furniture, and you should have all that done by now. So now, from this file, it wants us to add a title block. So we do not normally, we used to, but we don't today, add title blocks here to this view. So to this model space. And it says it wants us to do it in this layout. So if you click on the layout, you can kind of see that I get something that looks like a piece of paper, and I can click on layout 2, and I get something that looks just the same. But what we're supposed to do, go up here and select this architectural D size. Now the study guide says you should have this in your sample files or your student support files. I don't have that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down here to the layout, I'm going to right click it, and I want a template from, now if you just hit new layout, you're just going to get a third tab. But I'm going to right click it and say from template, and I get some choices, and if I look real close, I don't get any choices that look like an architectural title block. So go ahead and click through, and I found architectural imperial. So we're not working in metric, we're not working in millimeters and centimeters, we're working in inches and feet. So I'm going to click this architectural imperial that I found in the AutoCAD template files, and I'm going to open, and this is what it wants to call the layout. So we got an architectural layout, and it's going to add that down here for me, and let's say OK. So here it added an architectural layout. So if I click on it, this is what I get. Now the directions will tell you, go ahead and do this step 5 right here. Okay, so that's a problem since I didn't start with the template file. So what I'm missing is a viewport. So if I click over here on one of these, I'm looking at a viewport through a piece of paper into this model space here. So that's what this is. This is a piece of paper, and behind that piece of paper is my model space. So I need to cut a hole in it. I do that with the viewports command. So viewports, and I want to select a single viewport. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle. Now I don't want to go underneath my title block, so I'm just going to kind of put it right in there. And you can see, cut a hole in my paper, and I've got my floor plan on my title block. And you can see I've got this cyan colored line. It's because I inserted it on the A door layer. Now, a necessary step is either to have a viewport layer. So either in my layers properties, I'm going to create something called viewports, and I don't have anything like that here. But I do have this def points. What def points is, it's just something that doesn't show up when you print. So I'm just going to take this and put this on my viewports layer, or put my viewport on the def points. Or you can create a viewport layer and simply tell it you don't want it to be printable. That's what that button there would do. Plot or not. So if you click that button, that says it's not able to print that particular layer. So now that I have my viewport, and I have it, I've made a viewport and I put it on the def points layer so that it won't print for me later. I need to do this next step. Set the viewport scale from a 1/2 inch to a foot, or 1/2 inch equals a foot. Well, that's simple. First thing you do, right now I'm in paper space right here. And how do I know that? Well, I know that because my UCS icon is in the shape of this triangle. That tells me I'm in paper space. So if I double click inside my viewport, see how my UCS changed? It tells me something's different. Now I'm in model space. So you can see the command here. If I click out here in the gray, I'm in paper space. If I click in the white, I'm in model space. So you can also use the commands ms for model space and ps for paper space, and switch back and forth between the two. That's important to pay attention to where you're at. I want to be in model space, so that's what my UCS icon is telling me right there. And down here, I want to set the scale of that viewport. So I'm in model space, click that arrow, scroll down a little bit, and it says 1/2 inch equals a foot. And you can see that that zoomed out a little bit, and I'm in model space. So then, that's the end of the lab. Oh, it's not. It's just right here, delete layout 1 and 2. So I can just take this layout here and delete. And right click on this layout and hit delete. And one more time, because I created that one. Okay, so that's the end of the lab. If you like, I moved it. So click on that arrow, 1/2 inch equals a foot, and then kind of pan it into position. If it doesn't fit, it should fit. You can always move your dimensions. Double click on the paper space, I always found is just a good thing to do so you don't bump your page. If you want to put your name and stuff in here, that's fine. You may have to, I don't know if they're attributed or they're just text. You may have to explode that block. But that's the end of the lab. So take that, you'll save it as Lab 5.2, Part 1, Project 14-1 with your initials on it.